to No Movies in Hell.
I'm LaPaw Scott, and today we are reviewing Beef, a series on Netflix with Ali Wong and Steven Yeun.
I watched this. I wanted to watch it, but I didn't want to watch it halfway. Like sometimes I'll have things on in the background,
Yes.
and especially if they're in English, I tend to do that. But I really wanted to pay attention to this because it was Ali Wong, because it was Steven Yeun, and you had recommended it highly, and a couple other people I had heard said good things about it. So I wanted to block out a chunk of time when I could watch it. And so
Mm-hmm.
finally that has occurred. And so I watched it this weekend. I kind of knew what it was about going in. I thought it would be
Mm-hmm.
funnier. It turned out to be sadder. But there were definitely funny parts for sure.
Yeah.
I liked it overall. And I would recommend it to other people. But I would caveat it with it's not as funny as you think. It'll be sadder than you think.
Yeah. I agree with you. Usually when series come out, I definitely want to just have it on in the background. I think the weekend that it came out, I watched the first 5 episodes and then I was like, you know what? I gotta stop. I have to like savor this because even after first episode, and it's just, the whole road rage thing, it was just like insane. I was just like, okay, can't get any worse than this. And then it's like you're meeting these people who just try to up the ante, and instead of making things, it never ends well. Like you think that they would get all that out of their system by, tat for tat, and it just impacts everyone. And it's really unfortunate because it's all these like things that happen to other people in their circle, and whether it's like keeping up with a lie or still harboring these really ill feelings because you can't articulate what's hurting you internally, and then you take it out on other people. I thought it was fascinating, all the way till the end, where I was just like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe this is happening. And it gets into that like surrealism of like, did this actually happen, or are they like imagining this stuff, and what is the resolution now?
Well, it reminded me of a couple of things. The sad on the sad side of things, it reminded me of Daisy Jones and the Six, because
Mhm.
the main character played by Sam Claflin, he tries so hard to hide who he is from his wife. And I feel
Yes.
like Ali Wong's character tries so hard to hide who she was. Her character tries so hard to hide who she was from her husband. On the funny side of things, it reminded me of the increasingly poor decisions of Todd Margaret. I don't know if you ever watched that.
No, I have never seen it.
So I think it's David Cross is Todd Margaret is the main character, and it's a comedy, one of those uncomfortable like Curb Your Enthusiasm kind of but it's he makes a decision and that spirals into this other situation where he has to make another decision, and then it spirals into another where he's just like his life is just this cycle of terrible things that situations he's in because of the previous decision, which seemed like the best one he could make at the time.
Hmm.
But that's definitely a funny one. I would recommend if you have time that in the background. But yeah, let's go to the slide. So you rated this very highly.
I did. So I think it was one coming off of the first weekend. So I finished it by the weekend. So I started on a Friday, finished it by Sunday. Thought it was absolutely great. I think it was really, really great storytelling that I feel like I haven't seen before.
It was very, I feel like it fell in line with a lot of the Korean things, like Korean movies that I've seen, where it continues to escalate and people hold grudges to a degree that most people don't hold grudges to that level, right?
Hmm.
How everything is so focused around, everyone's making poor decisions, not just the main two characters. George is making poor decisions
Yes.
occasionally. His mother has made poor decisions.
Oh, yes.
The Naomi is making poor decisions. Like, who is the woman who plays Jordan? She looks so familiar.
Um, is she the woman from Ashley Park? Is she Emily in Paris?
Oh, I didn't watch that. I'm gonna have to look her up, but she looks so familiar through the whole thing. Naomi also looked very familiar.
I think it was Maria Bello, who I haven't seen in a movie in a very long time.
You know what? That seems right. That seems right. So yeah, like everyone in the show was making poor decisions. So it was, but not everyone was having the same ramifications.
Very true. I think it was very amplified when it came to like the external circle, more so than themselves. They were just kind of like, "Oh, I'm done with it." Especially at the house, like that was cataclysmic.
Would a panic room door close that hard?
Probably. I just don't understand why she would need it. It was just art. It's not like.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't
we
know.
don't know what else she had in the house, though. She might keep a lot of cash around, or I don't, but I think
Or
she
like
did
a,
things because she wants them, not necessarily because it makes sense.
yeah, like a doom bunker or something like that. But it just makes you, yeah, I was just like, this is absolutely not necessary. But it seems as though that character would have something like that in her home.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. If I had a fabulous home and unlimited wealth, I'd probably have a panic room. Because why not?
Yeah.
I might though keep all my art in there with me. I'm whole house would be a panic house, right?
Yes.
Did you want to pull out any of these categories to talk about individually?
I really like the story. I mean, I think we rated them both with a 3. For Reader's Choice, I gave it a 3. I see you gave it a 2.5. I think I highly recommended this after the first like 2 episodes. I was really engaged in, of course, like Netflix has this thing of ending episodes on like a very high note where you are drawn in and you want to watch the next episode because you don't want to you're consistently engaged, and I felt like I was consistently engaged in the story. I wanted to know what would happen, what was going on with these characters in their individual lives, and I really liked how like they picked out all the flaws of these people, so you really had this understanding. You weren't necessarily on one person's side or the other because they both did wrong, and then these network effect of impact to their to their community, and then also to like their friends, and then it goes back to them. So really, really good.
I did like the soundtrack for this.
Oh yeah, it was so good. It was like very nostalgia of early 2000s.
Yeah, definitely. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.